All right, so if you're watching this, make sure you click like and subscribe. We are back again with another guest, and this one's going to be great. All right, so today I have with me Paul Melvin. But how are you doing?
Yeah, doing really well, thank you. Thanks for letting me come.
You're more than welcome, Bo. So I wanted to bring you on here because I know quite a lot about you. Obviously, I am your coach right now, and I've seen how hard you've been working of recent, but I also know that your story is extremely inspirational as well. So I thought, let me bring you on here. Let's show our watchers, more about yourself. So what I want you to do is, as I said, I know a lot about you, but they don't know anything about you. So just give them a bit of a history, like who you are, how old are you, and just,
Yeah, no problem. So, yeah, my name's Paul Melvin, as he's mentioned. I'm 47 years old, and I came on this journey with unplanned, really. I'd been through a bit of a breakup. I'd hit something that I'd never come across before in my life. I'd hit depression and overthinking. Back at parents' house, 47, not great. And I needed to try to see if there was a way to make myself feel better. Doctors are too easy. They want to give you medication and what have you. So I happened to speak to a friend of mine, and she gave me just come to the gym. And I'd not been in the gym for like 10 years. I'm touching 18 stone. I thought that, can I do it? I come from a fitness background, really. I was in the army for many years as a young man.
Yeah.
And I kept my fitness up all the way through. But the thought of going back to the gym at 47, I started building all the barriers that I thought, excuses, the limitations, excuses, And but I did, and I threw myself purely and solely into cardio.
Like everybody else.
Yeah, I thought, right, let's beat this fat. Let's get on it. It's the way to do it. I weren't really doing no diet change. I weren't really doing no stopping of life choices.
Working hard, but hardly working.
Exactly. And I thought I couldn't even look at a weight. I thought that my years of doing weights are over.
Me at 47 weightlifting must be crazy.
So during my hours and hours of pedaling on bikes and going up stairs that go nowhere and
like
rowing.
Mount Everest, but not
I was observing what other people were doing and seeing how the training, the way that training is set out now, and the professionals that were in my environment, seeing how they were coaching people, and yourself included. I started then to build up the confidence, because I saw different people of all weights, shapes, and sizes, and I could see over, because it was like 3-4 months, and I'd went every single day, so I could see the benefits that they were getting from it. Built my confidence. Well, maybe I can do it. Maybe I'm not too old. Whatever it was, which led me to approach you in the first place.
It's massive. That is, like, what you're speaking of here is the mindset that people cannot see.
Yeah.
So when people are in the gym, they're thinking, "Oh my God, people are watching me." Actually, everyone's thinking the same thing. There's a lot of people in there that may think that thing.
Yeah.
But did you think that?
Like I said, it was, for me, it was like, maybe, I don't know whether it was all linked to my own state of mind that I was in then, but I'd given up on the gym 10 years before. So
because you were 10 years without the gym?
10 years without the gym, yeah. But I still classified myself as a healthy person.
Healthy 37-year-old.
47-year-old.
47-year-old.
But was I really pushing myself? No, I wasn't. Was I actually trying to make life changes? No, I wasn't. What I was doing is doing the bare minimum to still say that I was fit.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And I always go back to the point of, I don't talk about anything that I've already done. No one cares. What are you doing right here, right now?
Exactly.
And in the element of coaching, it's really rewarding to see a 47-year-old man take 10 years off his life. So when I say 37, you are 37.
Yeah.
You've put in the work.
From a fitness perspective.
From a fitness perspective.
Yeah.
And a mental perspective, to understand that you are now younger.
Yeah. But I mean, the thing is, the relationship that I've got with you has gone deeper than that because of where I was. It was when finally made the jump, and I come and spoke to you. You made it very easy to me that you can be helped.
Yeah.
It's not a lost
It's not
cause.
over.
Yeah, I can definitely work with you.
Yeah.
But I gained a friend.
100%.
Yeah. I had a counsellor because the amount of times I've turned up for training and yet still I'm talking to you about this and that, and the way that you check in on me.
It's personal, bro.
Yeah, it is.
It's a personal approach.
So then when we actually go into the session that we're supposed to be doing, the education on the food, the structure in the training that I've gone from 18 stone to 14 and a half stone.
Crazy.
Yeah, I've got a better body now than when I had when I was 30.
Crazy.
So.
And it's all because, like, again, when I communicate with clients, like, are you the problem today? Or are you willing to be the solution?
Yeah.
The choice is actually yours.
Non-negotiable.
It's a you remember?
That's your word.
What are your non-negotiables?
Exactly that.
And because you have cemented your non-negotiables now, you are pretty much untouchable. You have to progress.
Yeah.
Because if you stay at that bus stop long enough, eventually that bus is going to come. And for you, that bus has came. And you are on it. You are on the bus of becoming the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
And how does that feel?
I mean, my energy levels are up. My depression is severely reduced.
How bad was your depression before you started? So at 18 stone, where were you at mentally?
So in October, I hit a complete mental wall, and I've gone through 12 or 15 sessions of counselling. I'm still currently with a life coach. I was in constant conversation with the doctors on a fortnightly basis. And due to the work that you and I have been doing, I've managed to not take any prescribed medication. The doctors actually supported what I was doing. The weight loss speaks for itself.
It does.
My cholesterol has gone way down. My self-worth, I look in the mirror and see something that I kind of, I mean, I still feel like we've got some work to do, don't get me wrong.
We can see the six-pack.
Yeah, it is in there somewhere.
But we spoke about this today. It's about, what are you willing to put in?
Yeah.
We'll seek, alternatively, the goal that you get after.
Exactly, yeah. Everyone's got a dream, okay, and you've shown me that it's achievable. But it's not easy. It's not a magic wand. You can show me the way. It's up to me if I walk it.
Yeah, 100%. So what does a normal day now look like versus you before?
So prior to where I was mentally, I was in a job where it was no structure. I was eating what I could, when I could, making all the excuses. Yeah, you see, now there's a difference of perspective. Why didn't I do it then? It was because I didn't have time. I mean, I'm up too early. Do you know what I mean? I've worked too late. I'm too tired. Okay, now why I didn't do it is because I didn't value myself and I didn't put the time and effort in to be able to prepare those proper meals. You have now shown me, so your question was, what does my life look like now? I thrive on routine, and that's the one thing that I'd given out. So what I do now is I have my routine. I have my diet that's already planned out for me. I know I've got to get to the gym because otherwise
where were you?
Yeah, on the phone to me. So that having that drive, somebody that cares for you. Like I said, for me, and everybody's going to have difference of opinions, but I didn't just take on a coach.
Yeah,
I didn't know it at the time. But what I've taken on is I feel like somebody actually gives a shit. Do you know what I mean? And so that makes me want to deliver even more for myself. And I'm seeing the benefits. So the proof's in the pudding. You walk the walk, don't you?
Yeah, it definitely is, man. And the fact of the matter is, if you're already here in this short amount of time, imagine you this time next year.
Like I said, for me, you're going to be part of my life now. You're stuck with me, so I'm not willing to give up on any. No way. I feel that maybe I need to adjust my targets a little bit because I do struggle in some respects to be completely strict to the diet based on what I've asked you to sculpt. It's not achievable, but am I willing to do that?
100%.
But this is the conversation we had today. It's about adjusting my expectations
Wherever
to what
we
I'm
can.
comfortable for.
Yeah.
And then we can look
Develop
at
from
matching
there.
it to that. But at the moment, full steam ahead.
I love that. I love that. So, you know, we spoke off camera about the fact that you were in the army.
Yep.
You know, what was that fitness level like for you?
I mean, going from being a 16-year-old schoolboy, okay, to a 17-year-old going into the British Army is a massive kick up the butt. You know what I mean? There's no non-negotiables. Do you know what I mean? Everything is you're doing what you've got to be doing. I was quite lucky when I first went into the army that I was fast-tracked through from infantry soldier through into anti-tank. So I was in a specialist platoon. We had a very driven captain. So we were every day log runs, CFTs, BFTs, carrying weight. We were on it. And so for those years, at the time, painful as you know what I mean, hurting. 17, and where's my mum? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then I look back at it now, and I can see nothing but joy in it, really. But what it did do is it helped me, which I still use today, even with the training with yourself, is to have the mindset to push through, that no matter what your mind tells you, your body can always do a bit more.
That, at times, when you're feeling that, can be very difficult to believe. And an occasion today happened, actually.
Yeah, of course.
When you were lifting that weight, and it was very easy for you to be like, I can't do anymore.
Yeah.
So we added more. And being uncomfortable sometimes is the most powerful thing.
Yeah, of course it is, because you're uncomfortable, then you achieve it, and then you're like, the next time you look at it, I've already know I can do it. I want to be putting a bit more on.
Definitely. Let's go back into the point of, you know, you're 47 years of age.
Yep.
At what point do you think many men now just give up on their body?
I think there's many deciding factors that go with this. We get comfortable, don't we? You've maybe got a wife, you've got a partner, 2.4 children. I know an idealistic world that there is many variants to that, whether you're still together, not together. The responsibilities of life, if you're not careful, you can allow the responsibilities to become the life, and you forget that you're in the life. Okay, so is it easier, whether you've got a partner at home or not, is it easier to stop off at the pub on the way? Do I want to get back there? Do you make those choices, which then have a knock-on effect? And the more that you start to gamble it, I'll just miss the gym today, I'll miss it then, and I'm proof in the pudding. Before I knew it, not been
10
in
years,
it.
no gym.
Not been in it.
And this is a normal thing, especially for busy people. Like, I see this every single day, especially when I'm communicating with potential clients. Like, I'm like, what do you do? Okay, they're like, I work either self-employed or they work a 9 to 5. Okay, well, what time's your break? You know, my break's all over the place. Even like the NHS, like nurses, they're the same. Yeah. They get into this pattern of, I've worked so hard for someone else, but I can't work that hard for myself. Yeah. Because you don't have energy. But the reason why you don't have energy
is because you're not putting it in the first place. Yeah.
And until they come off that
But it's
wheel,
a vicious circle. Nobody wants to get into that scenario. Yeah. It's just one of those things, but that's exactly what happened to me.
So did you know that was happening?
The part of me still wanted to think that I could go and do it, but getting up in the morning, going to take my dogs for a walk, coming back, walking with dogs, okay, that's my fitness done. You know what I mean? You get wrapped up in this. Have you done your 10,000 steps and all the rest of it? Okay, yes, that is a remedial way that is advantageous to keep yourself in a scenario of fitness. I don't even know whether I'd call it fitness, but health, maybe. Yeah. A supportive act that you can do for your health.
To feel good.
Yeah. But what I'd done is kind of just given up on the fact, you know what I mean? You're not out there, you forget that you could impress yourself instead of thinking you're younger man, I want to do this to impress somebody else. Yeah. You sort of have to take that transition that, okay, well.
Doing it for me.
Yeah, I'm doing it for me now.
And how hard was that though? To do something for yourself?
Well, like I said, that it took me 4 months of looking before I took the step to come and talk to you. I came and spoke to you one day, and I think 2 days later we did our first session, and
Yes.
then now we're X amount of weeks down there, and
Yeah.
I'm actively looking forward to it. But credit to you, if it had been a different coach that didn't push me, there would have been times, as you know,
Yes.
that I've said,
Yes.
I'm not going to make it there
Yes.
today because the wind's blowing from the west
Yeah.
or whatever the
And you're in the
excuse may
east.
be. Yeah. And you're like, non-negotiable, I need you to get to the gym. All right, watch your target. Remind me of my target.
Yeah.
Remind me of the reason why we started
That
the journey.
reassurance.
Okay, and then I don't want to use the word guilt because it's not a guilt, but it's just a reminder. Okay, well, this is why we're doing it, Paul. This is the target that we set.
We're both invested.
But you have to be flexible with me as well. So if you go and do that today, then what we'll do is we'll do this for the next. This is how the next 3 days can look then. If you go, you beat this today, I need you to win this battle. And you're just like, but it would be easy to fall back in it with a lesser coach, I must admit, because you're strong. You're a strong character, and you say it as it is.
But that's the only way that it can be done. Like, I completely hear you here. Like, if I just saw it as a job, which I definitely do not.
You don't.
If I saw it as a job, I will check in and I'll check out.
Exactly that. Show up for when you need to show
when
up.
I
and
need
the rest
to.
Of it. But I'll get messages off you all day, every day. Just even if it's just how you're getting on, what you're doing. And it means something from where I was mentally to where I am now. You've helped me in. I can't just identify it just to my fitness. I have to identify it as a life choice that I made. And now you're coming back to give that back to me. So.
The key with everything that we do, Paul, is the brand is called Impact for a reason. You know, and we want to have an impact on people's lives. Yeah. Or there's no point me doing it.
No, just another PT.
Just another PT never sits well with me.
No.
You know, like, I haven't worked this hard to only just be another PT. No. Like, I am emotionally, physically, financially invested in this journey. And this is why I only work with people who are the same. Yeah. You know, like, and something that we spoke about as well off camera, like, we have a lot of people that want to work with us. But if I don't believe they're ready to be helped, probably not going to work with them.
Because you're not there to take the money.
No, I'm not.
You're not there. You were there to see somebody's life improve.
Because
that shows through to me.
100%. But I need people to be inspired by other people's journey as well. You know, it's a scary place that we're in right now, especially after COVID. Like, you would be shocked how many people mentally are still in a very bad place because of COVID. Yeah. You'd be shocked how many people are still overweight because of COVID, even though it's 3-4 years later. Yeah. You know, and I need people to be looking at not only my page, but also my client, and looking at them and being inspired to take an action. And that action doesn't have to be run a marathon. No.
Well, if my message is there, it's never too late, really. And just have the confidence to go and say hello. Have the confidence to be honest with yourself and with Sam. And for me, it's worked. It's worked in all parts of my life, not just in the gym.
What do you think the biggest thing that you're struggling with right now is?
To do with us, to do with our schedule or my life?
Your life, really. I think it's a good insight for us to talk on that.
I was off work for 2 months, and as you know, the last 2 weeks I've gone back into work, which is then, it's kind of anxiety about losing the structure that I built. So getting up in the morning, going for a long dog walk, finishing the dog walk, coming back, eating my breakfast, then going to the gym, hitting the gym, then the sauna. So all the coping mechanisms that I'd put in place in order to help me have now come back round to bite me, because all of a sudden now I'm back in work. I am very blessed that the employer that I work for are giving me flexibility and they're not pressing me. I would be really concerned for other people in that scenario to be able to stop all of the coping mechanisms, go back into 9 to 5. Okay, then they've got to start. Then the excuses will start. It's too late. I haven't ate my food.
No energy.
Yeah. So my difficulty now is I'm just going through that transition where we can still maintain the quality and the quantity of training that I'm doing while reintroducing life. And I know that sounds bad, but
it's true,
it is a consideration to me.
And what we don't want to do is we don't want the strengths in what we've built in this routine to now become a weakness.
Yeah, exactly that.
Whether that's us looking at your training and adapting it to suit your normal lifestyle that you're walking back into, that's something that we will do. But I think for me as well, like, I don't feel that you can't get over that hurdle.
No, I don't. It's just a difficulty that I'm going through. I'm processing. It's not a physical challenge. It is the anxiety that I hold around it is like almost like I don't want to let go of one branch to go to the other, you know, in that metaphor.
Yeah.
And so thankfully, because I'm having the stage return, I'm still able to do that. And things over the next couple of weeks, things are going to change and we'll have to adapt to that. And whether that means I'm up at 4 a.m. or whether it means that I'm at the gym at 8 o'clock at night, I need to maintain it. Because otherwise I'm going to be back
at square one. Yeah. Maybe even worse.
Well, yeah.
You know, we spoke about earlier about how your work are supporting you with this. Why do you feel that other people's workplaces don't give them that same level of support? Because it's common. Like, I hear this with my own clients as well who have gone through a similar page.
Yeah, because it's not a physical ailment, is it?
Yeah.
If you go in on a Monday, if you phone up your boss on a Monday morning and you say, look, on the weekend I broke my leg, and you send a picture of your cast, it's understandable. There is knowledge there is professionals that we can all look and understand, that we can look at a picture of a broken leg and there is going to be a set amount of time for a minimum requirement for everybody. Obviously everybody's different, but there's a minimum requirement that's going to take before that is going to be in a scenario where we can either start doing physiotherapy to
build
walk.
that.
Mental health. I'm a mental health first aider at work. I advise people all day, every day on how that they can overcome their problems. But when it hit me, it was just completely debilitated me. I couldn't use my own skills for myself. So why don't people have support at work? Because it's unknown, isn't it? It's an unknown entity. There's no two people that can react to a mental stress, trauma, life-changing scenario that can be standardized. So unfortunately, at the moment, I'm talking with my bosses at the moment about having not only the wellness that we have at work and the mental health support, but also just trying to make sure that we're fully educating line managers, senior managers
across the board,
that there is something that can be standardized. It can't be, they're not there to mentally help them. They're not there to offer advice, but having some way to signpost. And there's a lot of things out there. There's a lot of free mental health groups out there that companies can actually have in their arsenal. That, like, you're not feeling great today, Paul. What is it? Okay.
This is what we've done. Yeah.
So just signposting people. We're not asking people to be doctors. What we're asking is, don't leave somebody struggling when you could just help or them. Signpost them to something. So to answer your question,
lack of education.
Yeah.
Or
ignorance, even.
Ignorance. Yeah.
Because what do they want to acknowledge that? I can't see you've got a broken leg. It doesn't exist. Ignorance. Just forget about it
until it happens to them.
Until do you know what I mean? Until unfortunately the person has found life so difficult that they can't go on, or they lose a really good employee because they didn't show them support.
So, Paul, you spoke about earlier about how you built the confidence to eventually come over and approach me for personal training.
Yeah.
You know, can you just elaborate a little bit more into that?
Yeah, I've obviously mentioned I was going through my own personal external issues, which was in the present, and I'd also lost confidence in a man of my age going to the gym, doing all those things, maybe not even finding a good enough reason for it other than my own self. And so when I took the leap, it was based on watching what you had done for others. Is the fact there's, I don't know how many personal trainers are in the facility, but there was only yourself that I thought would give me what I'm looking for. So, I mean, the thing is, when you get to 47, everybody's got a story. Everyone's got a past. Everyone's got an injury. Everyone's got a reason. I mean, if there was something that I could say to people is just take the time to go and have a conversation. It's not going to cost you anything to have a conversation. And from my perspective, it can change your life, because it doesn't matter about what injury, it doesn't matter about your past, your size, your weight, your sex, or your sexuality. In my experience with Impact, they have made me a bespoke program based on my abilities. I mean, the first few sessions was purely and solely fixing an injury that I thought was unfixable, which allowed me to have a better posture before we even touched the weight. You just got to go and ask.
It's massive. That is massive. All right, while we are coming to the close of this podcast, it's been really good. This has really, really good.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
Thank you. Episode 1, we definitely need to bring you on. Now our listeners are very much in tune with you. You know, there's going to be a lot of men out there now, that are in a similar boat to yourself. But I want to bring it back to you at 37.
Yep.
What would you tell yourself? What bit of advice now would you give yourself at 37?
Don't give up on yourself is the honest thing. You may be in a relationship, it may be happy, it may be not. Okay. But ultimately, I was working all hours, God sends, to pay for a house that I was never in. And ultimately, I lost it all anyway. And that's because part of it was I wasn't showing up. And I wasn't showing up in the relationship because I'd lost the love for myself. So find the love for yourself, however that may be. Start feeling better about yourself, making yourself more active. And just take that step forward. Go and have a word with him.